Helicopter, car, helicopter, car, helicopter, car. Triple changers always seem to be difficult for Hasbro to do at this scale and price, especially nowadays, because everything's more expensive. A deluxe triple changer that's 2 toys now, a Voyager, seems to be compromised in some way to get both modes out of it. I've been told Siege Springer doesn't have a ton of compromises, so when the new Springer comes out, which I've already pre-ordered, I'll definitely be able to see whether they've compromised anything or not. Thrilling 30 Springer remains my favorite triple changer. I'm a huge fan of the IDW designs, so this was a huge plus for me. The thing has a striking presence for a Voyager. He looks like a badass. The upper body is super bulky and well spread out. The shoulders and arms are really well done. They incorporated the kibble, especially on the forearms, really well in like the way that I like. I do think the legs are a little bit skinny, but that's due to how they compress in both modes. This is also covered in Toy Hack stickers too. The sticker set is a must-have though for this figure. It looks fine by itself, but with the stickers, it looks even nicer. And for those of you who are like, on stickers, they're not the crappy cheap foil ones that you see all the time. These are actual like vinyl stickers. It's the same stuff they wrap cars and they use as stickers, so that's nice. The color separation is really good. The yellow and the green work super well, and these 2 shades of gray are very nice on the eye. The head has a lot of character too. Mine does have a little paint blemish on the nose, but whatever. He looks like a hard ass, and his facial expressions are very Springer. I love it. You can collapse the shoulder pads if you want to, but I like the way that they look extended up. It's more comic accurate. It feels a bit different from a normal Springer design, and I think that's really cool. He comes with the standard fare of weapons, sword, and gun, but the gun does something cool. It fires missiles. It's not spring-loaded. You push this gray piece and it fires 2 friction missiles, but 1 at a time. That's really cool. The way that the plunger works on the inside, it's a step. So you push it, 1 comes forward first, and then the other one comes forward second. I love that. He also gets into poses quite well for not having ankle tilt, but the shoulders on mine have gotten loose over time because they're on really itty bitty tiny ball joints. But I can fix that really easy. It's still annoying though. Posing on him is pretty standard. The only thing he doesn't have, as I said, were ankle rockers, but for the time, this wasn't a standard for Transformers, but I think the range of motion on most of the joints is still fine. The knees feel a bit limited, and the transformation hinge in the legs does do the whole like Hunt for the Decepticons Prime thing, and that's annoying. But for the most part, his posing is still quite good, and you can get him into some really nice dynamic poses. Transformation into car mode is really interesting, how everything folds around the core of the robot to form the car. He compresses super well. Tapping the legs into the back is a bit of a pain, but getting everything else in place is still pretty easy. The car mode looks sleek. I love the little Batmobile looking thing. It's just the shaping of it is really cool. My favorite part of this alt mode is the color separation. The yellow, green, and gray are split up so nicely, and these stickers help elevate the whole thing higher than it was before. I like to fold the spoiler down like this because it just looks more sleek to me, and you can store the sword in the bottom, which I really love. However, the gun just kind of plugs on top. It does look like a turret though for a military car thing, so I don't mind it. These stickers though, ooh, they really help this design. The caution labels and the yellow rims, they're just really cool. It's a really good size too, large enough to give off a presence of a wrecker leader for me, and I really do appreciate that. It doesn't do anything else though in car mode, so on to chopper mode. Getting from car to chopper mode is really easy, but the panels on the side of the arms can be a huge pain in the butt trying to pull them out. But the car just kind of extends into a helicopter. It's a pretty beefy chopper. It's chunky and it feels very IDW. The chopper also has better weapon storage than the car. Getting the gun tabbed in with specific proprietary tabs into the bottom is real easy, and it's really nice. And the sword becomes propellers, obviously. And the propellers spin quite well too. The helicopter's color separation isn't as good to me as the car's. The colors are kind of all over the place on this guy. The yellow sections on the front move back, and so does the green, and I think that's what makes the colors look funky to me in their placement. They're not as consistent as the car modes. It's again a nice size, and I really like this next to my version of the Wreckers team. I love the tail section of the chopper. The paint on the back of the wheels is really pleasing. It's also a nice dark silver. I love that color. I would love to see it used more. The toy overall is great. I like it. It's really fun. Getting it into each mode is super fun for the most part. The stupid arm panels. But each mode has its own charm. I'd say the weaker of the modes is probably helicopter, but it's by no means bad. I do recommend picking one of these up, even though we are getting a new one. I mean, it's just the Siege one again, but in toy colors. This one's still really good. But once that's out, I'll do a full comparison between the two molds. But should you get one of these? Yes. It goes for a lot on the aftermarket. It might go down now that we're getting yet another Springer, but it does go for a lot on the aftermarket. I wouldn't pay like more than 50 bucks for this thing. I would say 40 at most. I'm talking Canadian dollars, 40 at most. I think I paid like 25 for this at my buddy's store. So you can find it for really cheap. But that's my look at Thrilling 30's Voyager Springer. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.